Orange County real estate market update as of January 2026. We are seeing a number of things shaping up that knowing that knowledge is going to help you significantly, regardless of if you're a buyer and seller. There are a number of things that are shaping up, and the patterns, when you see them on the screen, are very interesting. And I am going to discuss the patterns. I'm going to put the data on the screen in a minute. And then I'm going to tell you what this information means and how you have to adjust your behavior based on the psychology of the market and based on where we are. One thing that you might have heard me say before is real estate forecast. It's similar to weather forecast. It's regional. It actually ties to a specific location, and you cannot apply it nationwide. The same as if they're saying that there's going to be a blizzard or it's going to be snow conditions in Boston, that's not going to apply to Southern California, and vice versa. Real estate is the same way. If you're talking about market conditions in Orange County, California, that probably applies to San Diego, partly applies to LA. But what's happening in the real estate market in Orange County, it's not going to apply to what's happening in Texas. So when you turn on the TV and somebody comes in and they're usually talking about bad news, sky's falling, the market's crashing, you're going to lose everything in this process. You know, guys, bad news sells. People on TV, on media and so forth, they try to scare you because by scaring you, they get you to listen to their news and sell their advertising. That's not what I'm trying to tell you here. I am trying to tell you what we see shaping up in our market and how it's going to affect you if you're buying, if you're selling, if you're downsizing. I'm going to put a link to this table on the description. You can download it if you want. The table looks at January 2024, 25, and 26. We look at the supply, we look at demand, we look at the mortgage rates, and the impact it's going to have on the sellers and buyers because they have different impact based on where we are. So the first thing we are going to look at, we are going to look at line 2, which is the supply of active listing in the market as of January of 2024 to 2026. In 2024, we had 1,785 homes in the market. In 26, we have 2,700 houses in the market. And in 25, we have 2,400 markets. So if you look at the supply is steadily increasing over the last 3 years. In 2025, compared to 2024, that's row 3, by the way, we are talking about. In 2025, we saw the supply of the housing market in January increase by 35%. And we saw that trend continue all the way throughout the year. We had more homes in the market in 2025 throughout the year than we had in 2024. 2026 starting with the same pattern. We have more homes in the market in January of 26 than what we had in 2025. We have 13% more homes in the market. The supply of homes is increasing over the last 3 years, but the demand has very much stayed the same between 2025 and 2026. So on line 5, you can see the increases. In 2025 compared to 2024, the number of homes that sold on a monthly basis increased by 11% in January. This year, we've seen no changes. We basically have 950 homes in the market that are selling on a monthly basis. So the supply line has increased again by 13%, but the demand has stayed the same. Now, you know what that means? In 2024, if you look at the supply as a percentage of demand, we had 2 homes in the market for any home that sold on the month of January. In 2025, we had 2.5 homes for every home that sold on a monthly basis. And this year, we almost have 3 homes for every home that sells. Now, the implication of that is different for the buyers and for the sellers. That means, unlike 2021 and 2022, when it was this crazy thing that the homes came in the market and everybody fought on getting the right home, the buyers can be a little more choosy. They can actually sit down, look at the homes, they can breathe for a minute, and in some cases, they can negotiate. And the pricing pressure that existed on the homes in 2021 and 2022 has subsided significantly for most homes. That being said, the good homes, the homes that have done the upgrades, the homes that are in a moving ready condition, they're turnkey, those homes always sell the fastest in any market, particularly in a market like today, when we have 3 homes for sale for every buyer. So if you're a seller, and you've seen my other videos, I discuss this all the time. I say you have to do some investing to bring your home to a condition that attracts buyers. 90% of the buyers want to move into a home that's in a move-in ready turnkey condition. My big saying is buyers like to grab their suitcases with their 2.2 kids and their dog, and they walk in, they move in. They don't want to do any work. And if you're a seller, if you spend wisely to bring your home to a similar condition of other successful sales in your neighborhood, then you can sell it and you can get a good value. Your homes, the upgraded homes, sell much faster than any other home. And it's no different than anything else you look at. It's no different than anything else you want to buy. If you want to buy a car, if you want to buy a used car, the used car that's in a better condition and it's cleaner sells faster. A home is even more extreme than that, because buyers subconsciously see themselves living in your home and they see themselves being happy in your home. And that's why they compete to buy it. I would say a huge number of homes that come to the market, they need work. And that turns off a lot of buyers. Some buyers like that, not everybody. So if you're a seller, you need to upgrade your home. And you don't have to spend a ton of money. You just have to make it better. You have to make it lovable. And if you're a buyer, you need to do your work. And I'm going to get to that. But you have a chance to negotiate. But you need to be a strong buyer in order to do that. So let me get to the part that we're going to talk about the buyers. Now, let's talk about mortgage rates. In the beginning of 2024, mortgages were at 6.75%. Then they run on this crazy ride. They run as high as almost 8% over the last 2.5, 3 years. And now they're sitting at 6.2%. That is the lowest rate of mortgages we have experienced over the last couple of years, maybe even longer. That means the affordability is increasing. You can buy a bigger home, higher price home for the same down payment. But you got to understand, there's more competition in the market. And in order for you to win the deal, you need to have your mortgage fully approved. A simple mortgage pre-approval doesn't work, especially if you have a low down payment. So if you have a low down payment, you can get your mortgage fully approved. I'm going to put a link to that video here. And we go in a deal as a cash buyer. And what I mean by that is, because your loan is fully approved, because we don't have a mortgage to worry about, we are going to remove the mortgage contingency from a deal. And then in the psychology of a seller, you're no different than a cash buyer. You're buying your home with no mortgage contingency. And this is what I mean, that based on this data, you can decide how you're going to approach the market, what is the best thing you can do, and how you're going to do the deals. So let me give you a quick summary. As of January 2026, we almost have 50% homes that we had in the market in January of 2024. And our demand is basically the same. So if you're a buyer, you need to be a strong buyer and you need to get your mortgage fully approved so you can compete with cash buyers. If you're a seller, because we have 3 homes for every buyer that's out there, then you need to make your home presentable. Buyers fall in love with a home in 8 seconds. So you need to do things to your home. You need to do smart upgrades to your home to make your home the place that buyers see themselves, live there and be happy. And that's the recipe for winning. The mortgage rates compared to 2 years ago, they're on the way down. I think they will continue to go down. I project that homes in the lower end of the market, they're going to see a good price appreciation and competition because the affordability is increasing. But we need to see how the year shapes up. Everything I see as far as employment data, inflation data, what the Fed is talking about, what the president goal is to do for the housing market will indicate that we are going to see lower interest rate and we are going to see a hotter market in 2026. Just remember, if you hear people talk about the doom and gloom, everything being destroyed, everybody's losing equity in their homes, I don't know, maybe parts of the country are like that. But real estate is like local weather forecasts. And if you live in Southern California, particularly if you live in Orange County, you're in a good market. You're in a desirable market. And we see price appreciation more than many other parts of the country. If you would like me to help you in this process, if you like somebody to be standing behind you and be your trusted advisor, book an appointment with me. The link is in the description, or you can just pick up the phone and call me. This is a good market. Buying a home can be stressful. We can remove that stress for you and we can guide you through that. We are going to make the easiest transaction for you because we know what we are doing and we always look for your best interest in mind when we are doing a transaction together. Take care of yourself. Hope to connect.